welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Astros. You find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Astros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
And I just got a notification that Clear Creek ISD, it was closed down because of the tropical storm Nicholas coming down. So hopefully my district gets shut down. I know you're in Pearland. I'm in Pasadena. So everybody stay safe out there. I know the next 2 to 3 days is going to be wet one out there, Houston. So
a lot of rain.
Everybody to the south of us, Corpus Christi, anybody that listens to the south of us as well, it's going to be a wet one. So stay safe out there and just continue listening to all the Locked On Astros podcast. And Johnny, I know you're down there too. So hopefully everybody stay safe and hopefully we get to talk about a lot of good Astros games over the next few days. So you know who talks about a lot of good baseball? Solely over at the Locked On MLB podcast. He's on YouTube. We're on YouTube, so keep on subscribing to Locked On Astros podcast. Keep on subscribing to solely over at the Locked On MLB, and great baseball talk all around. The baseball network in general is exploding. We were the first. I want to say that we were the first MLB channel that was the channel that was on YouTube. But now everybody's kind of following our lead. So thank y'all for all the support and keep on subscribing on Apple and listening on Odyssey and wherever you listen to your podcast. So this weekend was fun. Saturday, not so fun, but there's a lot to talk about with Friday's game. The Astros beat the great Shohei Ohtani, and this was a much better outcome than a game earlier this year. And then Lance McCullers pitched a pretty great game today, and the offense got just enough to support him. We'll have to talk about what Kyle Tucker did, but this was a great series. And
because it says, Sammy says, good day for Houston sports. I think he's alluding to the 1-0 Houston Texans, the first place AFC South Houston Texans, led by Tyrod Taylor, Mark Ingram, and that Lovie Smith defense. Man, Eric, like, surprise, surprise. And I would know the Jaguars, they're not a great team. They're not expected to do anything. But what a fun day. Winning football, winning baseball. I mean, the only thing missing is a Rockets win in the middle of a basketball season. You know what I'm saying? So that is excellent. You know, recognize our fans that are both baseball fans and football fans. And our friend Johnny, sorry, we're no Cowboys fans here, but we know your Cowboys lost a heartbreaker to the GOAT, Tom Brady. You can't give Tom Brady a minute and 29 seconds left on the clock and expect to beat him. So good effort by the Cowboys up in Dallas.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch any of the game actually, but it was a good game. Yeah, the Texans game, but I was following along. I was at a birthday party and I was kind of following along with the Astros as well. So it was a good situation. And the series even the Saturday game, the Astros lost 4-2. It wasn't a blowout. It wasn't a situation where they didn't have a chance to make a comeback. Even that ninth inning, they had a chance, and Garrett Stubbs of all the people had that big double, and he had a chance, and the Astros had a chance to make that comeback. But Luis Garcia looks like we've talked about it before, but he looks like he's kind of hitting a wall a little bit. And Zach Greinke's going to be coming back. I think he's going to be making a start, I believe, Tuesday. I need to clarify that, but I think he's going to be rejoining rotation pretty soon. So that'll allow them to go to that 6-man rotation. So that's something that we'll have to look forward to, because that'll give the Luis Garcia a chance to kind of give himself a little chance to rest a little bit more, because he looks a little winded.
And hey, I'm sporting the King Tuck shirt. So tonight up on deck, I've got the freshly minted Kyle Tucker bobblehead. I'm celebrating that. And I know in the picture you put the Lance McCullers Jr. Now, what's cool about this? Look, it's got the flames on the back. And look, it's got the little icicles. And there is I don't know if you noticed, there is some sort of wolf. I haven't figured out what this is. If someone can figure out, you probably can't see it. There's like a wolf or a dog, and I don't know what that's a reference to. I'm missing something here. I'm missing what the significance is. Do you have that?
And I have it too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but man, what a collection of bobbleheads the Astros are putting out. And hey, if you can come to games for any of the remaining bobblehead giveaways, ain't nobody showing up early. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I kind of know what the deal is. I don't want to get into it. I don't know what the wolf means. That's what we're discussing. But what a great weekend. Do you remember, Eric? Let's harken back to preseason, and we were making predictions. And I said, who did I say was going to be the MVP of this team?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe it's a dog. And I think it is a dog, and it goes back to his
his adoption age. Yes. All right, ding, ding, ding. I don't think they give you, but good job. But Eric, do you remember who I said would be the MVP of this team at the beginning of the year?
No, you said Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, you don't, Eric.
I don't remember what you said yesterday.
Oops, his bat fell out.
Okay.
Anyways, yes, let me tell you, Kyle Tucker is the 12th highest ranked major league player. 12th.
Right.
He's near in the top 10. Eric, he might get one MVP vote. He could.
Okay.
I mean, come on, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. He said that he's actually changed his swing from the beginning of the season, and we've definitely seen a lot of the patience, the kind of rewards for being patient. And so he had to say this. He said, my swing's changed a lot. If you look at my swing at the beginning of the season, the middle, and now it's pretty different. I feel like the first month every year it isn't good, and then I start going off after that. I have to figure that out. I've just been seeing the ball very well. I try to see it in a barrel and not chase pitches. So in today's game, we saw that while everybody was doing waves, I forgot who said it, but I got this notification that, while Astros fans were doing a wave, Lance McCullers gave up a home run. And then the next inning, I guess the fans were still doing a wave. And then Kyle Tucker hit this 2-run homer to give the Astros a 3-1 lead.
Well, we know the home run wasn't because of the wave. It's because it's King Tuck. I mean, that's what it is. Okay, look, here's the thing. Kids want to do the wave at the stadium, do the wave. I don't care. I'm sitting. I'm not standing, bro. I'm watching a baseball game. Hey. What?
Yes. Pasadena is closed tomorrow. Yahoo!
Hey, thanks for revealing what district you work for.
Oh, yeah.
So much for privacy. I'm joking. Hey, okay, look. Okay, so I've got to talk about this because we are Locked On Astros, and I know we've talked to some people who have come into the show who aren't regular listeners. So I want them to know of our baseball knowledge. Did you see what Max Scherzer did today?
He had a almost inning, or no?
He almost had a perfect game today.
Okay.
He got his 3,000th strikeout. Eric Hosmer broke up the perfect game. He had no walks. He only gave up one double. He almost threw a perfect game and got his 3,000th strikeout in the same game. Do you remember what happened? I guess it was 13 years ago when he almost got a perfect game and the umpire called the guy safe. And basically they gave him a hit, and it was because the umpire called him safe when he was out. That's why he missed a perfect game. There's right. 2 perfect games that he's missed out on. And I know Max Scherzer hated on the Astros. He didn't want to come here and all that stuff. But still, that's great baseball. That's like great baseball history. 3,000 strikeouts in a near perfect game. But back on the Astros. Dude, we got Lance McCullers, man. Eric, Lance McCullers, when he's on, he's on. This guy is a spark plug. The day they gave his bobblehead away, right. Dude was signing autographs for an hour. Hour. Like, that just people happen. Lining up. Yeah, and he wasn't charging. He wasn't at a show. He was freaking signing everything. The bobbleheads. He was signing babies. I mean, he was signing everything. And I'm joking. He was signing people's foreheads.
I don't think he was signing babies. It's not that type of party. It's not that type of party. You know what's a party, though? Having DirecTV, because you can watch the game from any type of device. Isn't that right?
That's right. So does this sound familiar? Johnny, listen. You got one device. Mr. Corona. Let's talk about this, because we know that there's not just one device that you have that catches all the games, your favorite shows. You watch highlights on your phone. You got your best friend's logins, mother's cousin's boyfriend's good stuff password. But you know what? There's a better way to do it. It's a lot simpler than that. Like, we make it too complicated. So it's time to get it together with your TV. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before. So you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That's right. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directv.com. That's directv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package.
Alrighty, so I know the Astros now have a 6.5 game lead over both the A's and the Mariners. Let's celebrate that. Not that the storm's coming, because I know a lot of people are a little bit freaked out about it. I went by Minchie's today after my daughter's play, and HEB was packed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but in all seriousness, we do hope, like you said, Eric, I met some people who listen to the show, part of Locked On Nation. We're going to call them Locked On Astros Nation from here on out. Part of Locked On Nation in Central Texas, in the Hill Country. I met someone who is from close to the Valley at the game that listens to the show. So wherever you are, if you're in the path of the storm, we hope you're safe. We hope you're able to take cover. And if anything happens, we hope that you're able to get it fixed in a speedy fashion. And we hope our thoughts and prayers are with everybody. A rain event, we know there's a lot of rivers and there's a big gulf right there. So the more water we have, the more the waters rise. So we just pray that you guys stay safe, and let's get back on the Astros. I just want to make sure everybody knows it. We're pulling for them out there.
Yeah, it sounds like Nicholas. Nicholas doesn't sound like an imposing.
I don't like that name. That's kind of a menacing name for a storm. That kind of I don't like it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna just stay a tropical storm. That does not mean it can't be dangerous.
No, tropical storm Alice. Yeah, trust
Allison
me.
can't. Yeah, it can be dangerous, but hopefully that's all it does, and it just brings a little bit of rain. But the danger is when it just sits, and hopefully it doesn't just sit like Allison did. And so we'll have to see what happens there. But let's get back to what's going on. What happened? So in today's game, it was the perfect setup for Dusty Baker, where you had the bullpen exactly the way you want it. You brought it Stanek, then Graveman, and then Presley. Graveman is still not looking like sexy Graveman. He came in and got the job done, but you still want him to be not allowing what he allowed.
He only gave up one hit, and he didn't give up a run.
No, but he allowed a walk and a hit. But you want those clean innings, dude.
But he still got a hold.
I know, but I want that sexy Graveman from when he came in was striking out. Yeah, the guy that came in right after the trade, where he was just, everybody's just like. Yeah, the one that you made that grave account. The grave
I'm Graveman.
But Presley,
you know what? I'm Graveman because when I walk in the room, everybody else is dead to me except you, babe. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but McCullers was on fire today, I guess I should say. But 6 innings, only 3 hits, 1 earned run on that home run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. How many pitches did he throw? He threw 102 strikeout. 102 innings.
102 strikeouts.
Sorry, my phone is blowing up with people at work just trying to tell me that the school's closed. So I'm getting distracted.
I'm just going to say this. I want to thank Alex for giving me a ticket to the game to hang out with him, because that night we were all gas, no breaks. And sometimes it be like that. Belak actually pitched a ton of innings, it seemed like, Saturday, Eric. He pitched, what was it, like 3 innings, and he didn't do too bad. 3 innings, he gave it 2 hits, he had 2 walks, he had a strikeout, but he didn't give up any runs.
Right.
You need those guys. I don't know that Belak makes a playoff roster, but if they're going to be on the playoff roster,
you need somebody.
You need somebody to be able to eat innings.
It's going to be Odorizzi or Belak, and I mean, I don't know who you have more trust in. Odorizzi's shown a different side of him.
I think you got to trust Odorizzi just because of he's got more of a veteran factor. You know, Belak was up prematurely last year. Well, no, not prematurely, because he was from AAA. It made less sense for the other guys that were high AA guys like Luis Garcia.
I would
Javier?
say At
Javier,
this point, Mr. Corona, I don't know if Javier has a role on the postseason roster. You
it's
can't walk
yeah.
batters. I mean,
Okay, here's the rule, Eric. If he's on the roster, I'm sorry, he has to start. He's not a good relief pitcher. No, think about it, Eric. Where is all his success come as a starter,
yeah, but who's he
not
gonna
as a
start
relief pitcher?
over?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like I just, but they're going to keep him on there. They're not going to take him off the roster.
Well, I know
The bullpen innings eater will be Urquidy in the postseason. I do agree with that, Larry, the GM, because Urquidy has not been great as a starter, but he's also been out for a very long time. So he is. I think he's got the composure. I think he's got the mentality to be like he's the calm guy on the mound, right? He goes out there, never panics.
Yeah,
He just performs.
Kind of go off what you're saying. Javier is not even stretched out anymore to be he can go maybe.
No, you're right. You're right.
So, I mean, I know what you're saying. He's better as a starter, but Dusty Baker said we're way past experimenting right now.
Oh, yeah.
So why you can experiment with starting Christian Javier in the playoffs? That doesn't, unless you want to do a opener or something. And I just don't see that situation happening. I mean, he could probably go 2 innings, maybe 3 innings max, but I'm going to nix your opinion, dude, there, or your idea there. So
who, me?
Yeah. The Christian Javier idea there.
No. I was just making the point that off of what his career is, but I do like Johnny's comment here. If Jaco gets pulled after 5 again, he might fight Dusty.
No, they're all friends now. They're all friends. They worked it out. They all sat in a tent and they're like,
I love you. You love me.
They all smoked a pipe and they all did.
Whoa, hey, Eric, promoting the peace pipe on the show. Whoa, what are you smoking, buddy?
But anyway, speaking of pipe, that kind of reminded me of Seth Beer. Seth Beer made his major league debut, and this is somebody that the Astros could have had on their team, and he hit his home run on his major league debut. So, cheers to you, mate. I've been waiting to say that for a long time.
Well, the marketing department absolutely failed with Beer's jersey. He's Beer 28.
Really?
Nobody says Beer 28. Why couldn't he be 30? Why couldn't it be Beer 30? It's Beer 30. Like, really? You had one job. Seth Beer debuts, and he's got number 28. That's like giving the guy 0,
right?
And having the word hose on the back of his jersey.
Well, I think also a lot depends on who the Astros, if we're talking about how many pitchers they're going to carry in the first round, it depends on who they're facing, and they're probably going to carry more hitters in a short series versus pitchers. So we'll see something like that. So, by the way, I lost a playoff matchup in fantasy baseball because I sat Yuli over somebody, and because Yuli's been struggling. He's been struggling, yeah, and then he goes 4 for 4. I'm like, no, but honestly, I would have lost anyway. So it just was like,
Yuli was like, take that.
And I was at a party, and George Springer decided to take the day off today, and I could have easily put Yuli back in the lineup, but I didn't see that George Springer was taking a day off. But you know what? It's sometimes you just wish you had a Built Bar in those situations like that, where you just like, I wish I checked my lineup.
Now, I don't want to false advertise. I don't know if Built Bar is going to replace players on your fantasy roster, but we'll go with it. I like it because they're delicious and they are amazing. And I'm serious. Like, you guys think I'm just like making this crap up. I am not making it up because Built Bar is the best tasting protein bar. I've literally tried just about every protein bar on the market. They're either too chalky, they taste nasty, and they've got like 8,000 calories. Not Built Bar. Like, let me break it down to you in layman's terms. 17 to 18 grams of protein, 130 to 180 calories, 4 to 5 grams of sugar, 4 to 5 grams of net carbs, all flavors, all tasty, all healthy. Like grasshopper cookie. You're like, grasshopper cookie? No, it's not real grasshoppers, but it tastes like the mint chocolate, like the little chocolate chip mint cookies that you get from the Girl Scouts, raspberry. And get this, not only do Locked On hosts consume them, like by the dozens, not at a time, but in healthy portions, but the USA track and field team. Division One football teams. I mean, the sky's the limit with Built Bar. They've got Built Puffs. There is this whole Built kingdom. So go to built.com right now. Use the promo code LOCKED15. That's LOCKED15 for 15% off on your first box. See, that's the same discount that I get when I get my box and I order, and when Eric orders. We're like regular customers. You become a regular customer just for being a first timer. So go to built.com and use the promo code LOCKED15.
Yeah, Built Bar would have been great. I know it doesn't help replace George Springer in your lineup when he sits, but yeah, it sucks. And I know we don't have betonline.ag, but if you bet on the Texans today, you probably won a lot of money because the Jaguars were heavy favorites to win today's game. And I heard some, I'm not going to promote them, but some of those talking heads, the ones on one of the radio stations, and they said, I see the Texans going 0-17 or how many games they play this season.
Really?
And I don't see them winning single game.
No,
and all the Texans fans have to deal with all season is seeing if they're going to get the first or second pick or something. So, wow. I still can't believe how good they played today. But anyway, this is Locked On Astros. So let's get back to being Locked On Astros. So let's talk a little bit about Friday's game. I know Shohei Ohtani got the game off started, and I know you're at the game, and you probably were like, crap, here we go again. Shohei Ohtani, it wasn't a leadoff, but I think it was the second hitter of the game. He hits that home run to lead off the game, and Framber Valdez was not on top of his game. And
he gave up those two solo shots. And while we weren't super alarmed by that, because the solo home run doesn't beat you in baseball. But Framber was clearly not on. And again, I really think it's mechanical. Like Mike Stanton really broke it down for us. It's all about his arm slot. It's all about where he's throwing, where he's releasing. And when he's off, he's off. But see here's the thing, Eric, when he's off, he doesn't miss by a ton. He's right around the strike zone. The problem is when that ball doesn't move, it flies. And Ohtani has just got one of these amazing swings that I love watching the guy hit. Dude, I think it's great he gets 3 solo home runs against the Astros and loses. I could care less just because I like watching nice home runs. But Framber will put it together. Come playoff time, you're gonna see a switch go off on Framber. Mark my words, bookmark this show on Monday, September 13th. Framber Valdez is going to be a stud in the playoffs because he's not going to have Carlos Correa get up in his crawl. But if he does, Carlos Correa will get up in his crawl and he'll be fine.
Yeah. But the Astros, I know Framber Valdez in that game gave up 5 runs or 4 earned runs and 5 runs total in 5 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 6 strikeouts. He walked 5 batters. That's something he's really got to work on. But that goes back to his delivery, and he gave the 2 home runs. But the Astros offense, they really took care of business. And I know they did that without any home runs. That's something Astros offense doesn't really do a lot of. Yeah. You had Bregman have 3 for 4. Then you had Altuve 3 for 4. Then Correa 3 for 4. Then you had Brantley 2 for 5. And we need to talk about Michael Brantley because that was a very concerning injury we had on Saturday. We haven't even addressed yet. But the Astros offense got 16 hits that day, scored 10 runs, and overall they only struck out 4 times. So that was versus Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher, allowed 9 hits and 3 1/3 innings. So the Astros faced one of the best pitchers in the game, and they took care of business. And so that means something, I think, with the Astros heading as October approaches. So I think that really does mean something. So I know Michael Brantley is, they're considering him day to day right now. His right knee is doing pretty good. And he said that it's day to day and he could have pinch hit today, but I don't think he did. I don't remember him pinch hitting today. So that's something to kind of monitor. And Jason Castro and Taylor Jones are set to go on a rehab assignment with the AAA Sugarland Skeeters in Round Rock today or tomorrow. That's if it's not rained out, of course. With I think you're muted right now, but
All right. So here's the deal. With Jason Castro coming back, I think it's important to have someone like Garrett Stubbs. Garrett Stubbs got a big hit this weekend, and I know the Astros didn't win that game, but when he got up in the ninth inning and he hit that double off the Crawford box scoreboard, that was a huge hit. And I don't know if anybody paid attention or watches the Sugarland Skeeters highlights. Okay, here's what you need to do. Whenever you have guys that go back and forth a lot from AAA up to the big league club, you need to watch how those players perform when they're in AAA. Garrett Stubbs, when he was in Sugarland, was absolutely crushing the ball, Eric. He was on fire. His bat was red hot. And I know it's AAA, but his hit to left field looked a lot like how he's been hitting there in Sugarland. He's been hitting home runs. I mean, he's a small, compact guy, but he has pop. And I really like Garrett Stubbs. Johnny mentions Jose Siri. I like these young guys. They have a fire. And what I love is guys like, from Myers to McCormick to Stubbs to Siri. Eric, we've got role players that have hardly any playoff experience. And that doesn't
Right.
worry me one bit.
All right. So, yeah, the Astros have a situation coming up with Zach Greinke returning and Taylor Jones about to return. The Astros have to make some roster moves because Marwin Gonzalez and Jose Siri are here on borrowed time because they were here because of the whole COVID roster spot. So they're not really officially on the 40-man roster. So Jose Siri is somebody that a lot of people have actually started really liking. I know that school's closed. Stop calling me. Basically, in order for Siri to stay up, even if Taylor, so somebody's going to have to get sent back down when Greinke is activated. It's either going to be Marwin Gonzalez and Jose Siri. And I'm knowing Dusty Baker a little bit. It's going to have to probably be Siri at this time. So
Siri's the low man on the totem pole just because of experience.
But you're still going to have to get Marwin Gonzalez on the roster. You're still going to have to DFA somebody. So you're going to have
okay, I have a question.
Jacob Wilson is probably
Wilson and Robel Garcia.
Yeah. So he's probably going to have to go.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Mr. Corona caught that one, and I was thinking the same thing. And now this is an interesting take. Credit Keys, which is an interesting name, by the way. I think they need to shuffle the batting lineup a little. No, you don't shuffle the lineup on September 13th.
Well, they have shuffled the lineup.
Well, right.
When somebody's out, they move people up and down.
They move people up and down, but you'll notice now they're starting. I would be really shocked if you saw Chas McCormick hitting in the top 3 anytime soon.
Right.
I mean, he's not going to be hitting top 2 anymore. But at the same,
Siri was batting second just because Brantley left in that game.
Because he was slotted into the lineup, right, and right. There wasn't like a double switch or anything like that. So, but I do love Marwin Gonzalez being back. I love his experience. I love the connection. Like when you have camaraderie with a player, that does so much for a player's confidence.
Right.
That was just so much for a team's confidence. I really can't wait till Greinke gets back. I need Greinke to be like playoff Greinke, to be Zen Greinke, to be 46 mile an hour Ephus pitch, Greinke striking people out. I mean, doing those things with Lance McCullers throwing flames and with Framber throwing the curveball and freaking Luis Garcia doing the cha-cha slide on the mound and just striking out batters. Garcia only had a few strikeouts this last game. He didn't look sharp. Man, but when he's pounding the zone, and one thing that we have to realize is when these pitchers like Stanek and Graveman, when they pound the zone, they're very successful. When they try to work around the zone, that's when I think they slip up. Because remember the first few times that Kendall Graveman pitched for the Astros, that little curve he had that would go inside on the left-hander and go in and catch the inside part of the plate and just boom, and he would just pound that inside.
Right.
They've got to keep pounding the strike zone. You've got to. Your job as a pitcher is to throw strikes, not to strike batters out. If you're trying to strike batters out, you're not going to obtain that goal. You throw strikes. It's your job to throw strikes, period. That's it. That's how simple pitching coaching goes. Throw strikes.
Yeah. So the Astros will face the Angels for 4 more games later on this week. I mean, not this week, but in a couple weeks or so. The Astros only have less than 20 games left in the season, but the Astros will be playing the Rangers, and they'll be playing up in Arlington. It's gonna be Jake Odorizzi versus Spencer Howard. Spencer Howard is a former top prospect with the Phillies. This is a guy that everybody used to talk about. And so we'll see what he hasn't had a great season. He has an 0-3 record with a 6.21 ERA, which means he's probably going to shut out the Astros for 6 innings. And then the bullpen's going to come in and Astros are going to blow out the bullpen. What's up?
Let's look at the standings right now. So in the American League, the Yankees are losing right now. Okay. The Yankees are losing to the Mets. And do you know right now that the Yankees are a half game out of the wild card behind the Blue Jays?
It's all like whoever, like it's going to be such
5 teams.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they're a half game. The closest team is Oakland, 3 games behind. Mark my words. I want to see Boston and Toronto as the wild card game. I don't want the Yankees in the playoffs. Everyone's like, I want to play the Yankees. I don't. I want to see them cry and just be so upset that they didn't make the playoffs. But Garrett Cole was our savior. No, he's not. You've got to have a complete team. And they had that big win streak, but then they just lost 6 in a row and they won 1. I want the Yankees out of the playoffs. I want them banned from the playoffs. Just beat them. Okay? No Yankees. No playoffs. All gas, no brakes. Right, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, that was the motto for the other night at karaoke, apparently. Like
it was the motto at the game, and we brought it to karaoke.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
I was like,
Alex isn't here, so I've got to bring the heat. Hey, I'm not going to tell y'all what it is, but we've got a really cool opportunity, a giveaway that we're going to promote on Twitter and on the show. Something that someone's given us. With the Houston Astros Foundation, with their big golf tournament, and it's a really cool giveaway package. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to be announcing that sometime this week or maybe next Sunday. But just be on the lookout for that giveaway. It's going to be really cool.
All right, for his second game, it's going to be Zach Greinke making his big return. And he said, I wanted to just bring this up before we end the podcast. He said, I don't have the actual quote in front of me, but he said, somebody asked him, how long does he think he can go in this game after missing all this time with COVID and not having a rehab start? And he said, well, I think I can go as long as they'll let me go, which doesn't appear to be that long nowadays. So
he pulled an Odorizzi. He's like, well, look what they do to Odo. I don't know.
Yeah, so they don't seem to keep us in the game very long. So I'll just go as long as they let me go. So yeah, that'll be great. If you can let me go 5 innings, that'll be great. So he'll be facing former Astros top prospect Jordan Lyles, who has an 8-11 record with a 5.43 ERA.
Former Astro.
But we can talk about the rest of the series later. I just wanted to confirm that Zach Greinke will be starting. I'm excited to see him back in the rotation, but mainly to get the chance for Luis Garcia to get some rest and to maybe get. If I were the Astros, I would maybe use this as an opportunity, maybe have him skip a start. And when I say skip start, don't really skip it, but maybe have him maybe do a 2-inning start or something. Come in, pitch 2 innings, then just go out or something. Have him be like something like an opener or something. That way he still does his routine, but maybe not overexert himself and save those innings for October, because that's where I think the Astros need him a little bit more, because he looks a little worn out. Yeah, piggyback, but he's like the mini end of the piggyback or something.
Now, just give some final thoughts. We need Brooks Raley jerseys in the Authentic shop. We couldn't find any. I was going to buy one. I was literally going to buy one this weekend. No Brooks Raley jerseys. I was absolutely crushed. So Astros Authentic Shop, get it together, get some
That's
Brooks
because
Raley
Astros
jerseys.
Walker has bought them all. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Not Astros. No, there's someone else, and I won't mention his name. Yes, he pretty much buys everything, but that's okay. I guess it's his right.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. We'll be back, hopefully talking about another Astros victory, and y'all stay safe with Tropical Storm Nikolai's coming, and hopefully we have power to do a podcast tomorrow. So
Nikolai is coming.
So we'll talk to you with another edition of Locked On Astros podcast tomorrow, and I'd make sure you check on the Locked On Bets podcast with your boy Q and Lee Sterling, and where they probably bet wrong on the Texans winning or losing this game. So we'll talk tomorrow. Go Stros.
Welcome back to Locked On Astros. Nikolai.